Welcome back, everybody. On today's ride here, we're continuing south on the 20 here. We're going to start in Webster Springs and head south and end up stopping this video here at Nettie. We'll pass through like Upper Glade, Cowan, Camden on the Gauley, Craigsville, and end up, like I said, there, stopping this video there in Nettie. Reason I stopped there in Nettie is it's where 39 and 20 converge there at the Go Mart. Anyone that's traveled south and back road through like Summersville, you come across 39 and you run into Nettie right there at that Go Mart right there I just pointed out. But that's where I chose to stop this video at. But yeah, just showing you that there. But yeah, we're going to head south here for a little bit. Like I said, we're just continuing the 20 route here south, and you probably seen this here on the end of my other video, the Webster Springs here. Webster Springs is a cool little town there, and you can gas up and everything there. But it's like 42 miles to Nettie there from Webster Springs. There's a lot of cool stuff on this road. There's some attractions and some pull-offs to check stuff out, but it's really mostly just roads that look like this here. This would be a super awesome like early spring, late fall ride. It'd definitely be a good fall ride. I mean, with the foliage and stuff. But as far as being able to see out, because some of these mountaintops and hills that you're on are pretty good. Now, this hill, that as soon as you come out of Webster Springs, I mean, that there was pretty much rolling there. I didn't cut too much of that out. There was some vehicles there I did cut out. But you head uphill for like a solid 4.5, 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. You got these two hard turns right off the bat there. And for the most part, like I said on the previous videos, you'll have sections of this road that's super good, and then you'll just have patchy, rough spots and things. Like I said before, there's none that's on this one here, on this section here, that's going to ruin you or anything like that. There's not really a whole lot of the road slippage away. You know how you get those rollouts in the road. Most of this is just where heavy traffic and big trucks. I didn't pass a lot in this video. But in this section here, you're going to run into some log trucks and some bigger trucks. Are they a continuous flow or anything? No. Also, let me know what you think about the I fast forwarded a little bit of this video. You guys still get to see the layout. I might start doing this through the section that like this, or that are just repetitive sections like your woods and things like that, so you can still see the road. And instead of me cutting it out, editing it out and stuff, I was pointing at that old state road garage over there, or whatever state road thing there. I built that, I don't know, back in 07, 08. I was, if you got anyone knows someone that works in the trades, they always point out what they work on. I'm that guy. Like I point out stuff to my wife all the time. She makes fun of me. But this is a very enjoyable ride. Like I said, there's nothing that just blows you away, like, oh my gosh, but there's a lot of just cool stuff. Some of these cooler or these little towns down through here are really cool. Like I think it was Cowan. I can't remember now. One of them down through here has a lot of, just cool little buildings and stuff. but it's a very enjoyable ride, and sections of it there, you do some river riding. I tried to leave as much as possible in the video. Like I said, I might start doing the fast forward stuff. Like, see, like this here, it's just repetitive, but I want to leave as much of the road in there as possible, so you guys can actually see what the road looks like and things like that. And but it's, you got to edit. I can't have hour and a half long videos, but so but once again, this was like the day after it had rained pretty good. There was a lot of water laying in the ditches and stuff, but I didn't see where it had actually rained pretty good the day before, so there was no real big washouts or anything on this section. The ditch line down through here was all actually deep enough to hold the water and things like that. No big blowouts or anything like that, so I didn't see a whole lot as far as natural things that would be in your way, you know what I mean, where not a lot of danger spots. Down here in Cowan, that's a cool place right there. I don't know what it is. Looks like a little baby park or something. I tried to look for a name for it, but I couldn't. But it's like in the middle of nowhere, and it's just like a pool and some cool little huts or whatever. It might be a little park, but I probably should check that out more, but I didn't. Like I said, we had a lot going on this weekend, and we were trying to get things done. But right here, as you're coming into Cowan and stuff, they're doing. It looks like water line upgrade, could be sewer. I wasn't sure, but they had some messes. Was there anything that drug out in the road? If you're going down through here in the middle of the week, doing like, passing through here, I would definitely watch. But on the weekend, most of your utility companies do not work on the weekends. I'm pretty sure I've never seen a utility company work on the weekends unless, something got tore up. But yeah, right through here, I mean, if it was that could be a mess right there if they're out there working, because that road did have some dirt on it and dust. The road's a little rough through there anyway, so as you're coming into Cowan, just watch yourself there. But that being said, that was about all I seen on that part. The road continues to be rough here. Now, there's a little cool restaurant right up here. Can't even remember the name of it. Hilltop. I think it's within the next mile here. That's where they had just opened the year before we did all that work down through here, or up there at the State Road Garage. And we used to come down here, in the evenings and stuff and eat. And me and my wife actually stopped there and ate. It's a nice little family ran restaurant. Pretty good food. Plus, there's not really a whole lot of places. Webster Springs there had a couple restaurants like Mustard Stand or something like that. Yeah, Mustard Stand, and a little hometown restaurant. You might run into some truck traffic here. That is a heavy equipment dealership, so they might be pulling in. Speaking of pulling out, that dude in that red truck almost pulled out in front of me. I wasn't even flying. Like I said, you get into some of these towns like this, you may want to watch your speed, because people ain't paying attention. Like right up here, this dude here could care less that I was coming down the road, and he just, took a sweet time coming across there. Video probably doesn't show it very well. Like, I had to slow down a lot to not clip him. But that being said, I mean, most people, if your average guy that's out riding on roads like this or going on massive rides, has probably put in some seat time, so you understand how to watch for people and things. So, but yeah, I just want to pre-warn you on some of this stuff. But like I said, this this road is super enjoyable to ride. There's a section down through here I probably hadn't been across in a long time. Right there's the hilltop. The last like 10 miles or so of this road before you get into Nettie, where the turnoff is. I hadn't been on that in forever. Like, I've been down through here and stuff. Always went somewhere else. But that the turnoff there in Nettie, I'll get to that in a second. This here's like what I was saying, cool little towns like this, man. They're kind of going by the wayside and things like that. I just love to see good old cool main streets that people are still in towns take pride in and keep cleaned up. Down here is your turn off. I can't think of what it is, and it's driving me nuts. I don't know when I say it, but yeah, you're pulling out a cow in here. Like, that town has just about anything that you would need in an emergency situation, as far as something breaks down or gas or food, things like that. And I mean, it's a fully serviced town, I guess, is what we could call that. But like I said, this is we continue down through here. The roads actually keep up. There was a couple places there where there's your turnoffs and stuff. You can go to 79 or come in that way. But sorry, man, I don't know. But down here, once you get in the that was 82 right there. I had to look. Man, I did this video a couple days ago, and I haven't had time to do the voiceover because my house is a circus, so I have to like pick and choose times when I can actually do these videos. I couldn't remember what that was, but that was 82. That runs you over to Birch River there on 19. But down here, like I was talking about, Nettie, once we right at the end of the video, that 39 or what, like that's a pretty major route. It will eventually do that. That one there's a ways off because that's maybe an overnight or two because it take me so long to get to it, then ride it out. But it takes you over to Summersville there at the one light there at the bottom of the big hill right there in the middle of Summersville. And that's the way most people come in that way and then go down 20 right there in Nettie where we'll stop the video. And that's how you get out, like Sam Black Church and stuff like that down through Rupert. And if you're going over into Virginia. But once I hit that part of the road, that was like riding through town because because you hit a road that you've run so much. But most of this road is there are several places where it does open up and it's really, really enjoyable. But as far as the full ride goes, I think I said this at the front of the video, but I'll say it again. It was like 42 miles from Webster to Nettie, and like roughly 40 minutes. That always varies. That's why I always say roughly, because people ride differently and things. Some of this you'll see where like you can see, like if the trees weren't there, it looks like you could see for miles and miles. And that's why I said, early spring, late fall. But I mean, oh, something's killing me. That'd be really enjoyable because you could really see the landscape and stuff. But it depends on why you ride. Like I ride to look at this stuff and see it, and West Virginia's landscapes and stuff, I absolutely love it. Like I've done a lot of traveling over pretty much everything over the east of the Mississippi. I've been west and stuff. This bike here, I think it's been in like 24, 25 states. Um, we've done the southern border from like Lafayette, Louisiana, over to Pensacola, Florida. We've done the Canadian border from Erie, PA to Maine. Um, well, when we come back down the East Coast, there, I hit New York City, and after that, I was done riding. I wanted to come home. But this the scenery. I mean, you see some beautiful things out there, but you know, if you see stuff every day, you kind of forget how nice it is. But that's why I love. You know, I wanted to do some of these videos because West Virginia gets trashed on so much, man. It's ridiculous. All you gotta do is take one of these back roads and look what West Virginia has to offer, and it'll just blow your mind. You know, there's just ample stuff, and Route 20 is a good one to show that. I mean, you got pretty much every landscape West Virginia has to offer. You got big open valleys, mountaintops, river running. It's awesome. And like, in the upcoming videos, like where we, get into like on our way to Princeton, further down through here, and our way back on the other side there, we come back up out of Princeton, 19 and 16, and it's just, it blew my mind. I've never been on that 19 out of Princeton to Beckley, and I was blown away. Like some of that ride, I was probably doing like 25 looking at stuff. So, and I was like, this is awesome. This is why you get out and ride and look at this stuff. Now, this is another, little, I guess it'd be considered a town, but you pretty much, you run, not very much do you run, like 20 miles without seeing anything or anything like that. So there's always something to look at. But there was a lot of like wood riding. And what stinks about that, I don't have nothing against that, but you got your trees on the one side and your hillside on the other, so there's not a whole lot going on to check out and see and everything else like that. But right here, if you gotta kind of watch what you're doing. The road, always watch for your road signs if you're not familiar. I mean, most people anymore run GPS. So, sometimes these routes, they cut off, and like when they run two routes together for 10 miles, and when they split, it's always something that's ridiculous, But, yeah, I don't know how many of you, run GPS. When I'm riding and like I'm going somewhere or something like that, if I need GPS, like if I'm not riding a route that is a continuous route, like I run my phone GPS. There was an awesome pull off. I missed it too late, but I think there's another one up here, but there is some pull offs and overlooks and things like that. They're worth, not that one because it's all treed up, but they're worth stopping. I mean, they're signed. Some of them are 1,000 foot ahead is a pull off. They're worth pulling off, taking a couple pictures, just checking out what West Virginia has to offer. But back to the GPS thing. I don't know how many of you run GPS and stuff like that, but if you have a Harley and you've never had it, you've got to get your GPS or your maps and stuff updated on those things. That thing got me so lost. I ran it one time, like depending on it one time, and I was coming up through Alabama into Georgia, and it like was completely off. My phone died, and we used it, and I'm telling you right now, with 100% assurity, the only time you can trust a Harley GPS is if you're going to a Harley store. Other than that, I'd put zero stock in those things. Right here, while I'm rambling, riding alongside that river, I think that's the Cherry River. I'm almost positive about that. Maybe not. But that was really cool. I'm a water guy, and I love like like mountain rivers that are wide and rocky and stuff like that. I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. There's all kinds of places to pull off. Check that out. I did not know, because I'm a loser like that. But that was a really cool river. It was running very well. And it looked like in most of the places there, it was pretty deep too. Like I said, continuing the actual important stuff on this, you can see the roads, and they were actually really clean for the areas that we were going through. And like I said, the ditch lines were all, a lot of them had water and stuff, but like I said, it literally just rained that Friday. So, I think right up here, we got another, yeah, this is another one. You gotta, come off your main drag and to take your route, and, right up here, just continue. But you can see that it, even in the video there, it was well signed. That was a rough bump right there. But yeah, that it's kind of weird how some of that runs out. I don't know who mapped these mapped these roads, and it's like, yeah, well, we'll just veer off over here and call this road 20 also. But I guess you'll have days like that. There's most of the hills, when you get into them, I hate calling stuff mountains, because the one right outside of Webster Springs is about the only thing I would classify maybe as a mountain. I don't know. Being born and raised in West Virginia, like, I got a buddy, he's from down south, like where there's snow mountains or hills, and he calls his little hill behind his house a mountain all the time. And I just laugh inside. I'm like, it's a hill, but it's just how, where you're from, I guess. But most of these hills slash mountain-esque things are pretty windy and really enjoyable to ride on the road. I cut a lot of that this hill climb out, but there was no one around me, and so I was getting it up through there, seeing what it would take, seeing how tight you could take some of them turns. So, but it's really fun ride up through there. I love the back and forth hill climbs. They're a whole lot funner than the back and forth downhills. You know what I mean? Burning your brakes off because you're going way too fast to be on them roads because you're an idiot like me. But yeah, that was an enjoyable hill right there, and that's right off of that. As soon as you come on you make that right hand, cross that bridge, that hill starts right there, and it goes up for a while. It's no 5 minutes like that one out of Webster Springs is, but that, I got to thinking when I was editing, and I was like, how long is this hill? I never paid any attention to it while I was on the bike, and I was like, holy cow. But like, you get up here on top of this, like I said, if the leaves weren't on, man, you could see in that one direction out through there for miles and miles and miles. But yeah, I think for the most part, this is a really pretty ride. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of like attractions. It was all just little small towns. You had some view stuff, like you pull off the side of the road looking at like that. There was really pretty. Looked like they had clear cut that a couple years ago for some reason, but I don't know what they had going on there. But it was still really pretty. There was a little bit of, you could tell where they had been pulling equipment in and out of there, but nothing like, even if it was wet, it probably wouldn't be nothing to worry about. Um, this hill here, like, all the ditch line was pretty deep. I don't remember any blowouts on it or anything like that, where the water, caught a branch and blew out in the road. Another thing, most of the signs over here were pretty close. I mean, if you was in a car, they'd be extremely close. On a bike, they weren't too close. Another road down through here on this side is in real bad shape as you're coming off that hill. But in the future, like this was done, I think, Memorial Day weekend, and it looked like they were getting ready to pave all that up to right in here somewhere. I think I seen the last sign. And so if you're riding through the week and or weekend, paving is about the only kind of construction that really worries me, because if they don't get everything done, where they mill the road is usually rough, or the drop offs. Be mindful of that there. Probably for the next like 3 weeks, maybe month. So just be mindful of that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. I thought it was an awesome ride, and I hope someone goes out and takes it and enjoys it too. But you guys be safe out there. Remember to like the videos, comment on anything that you want to see or you want to see better. But thanks for watching, guys, and please share. And we enjoyed having you. Yeah, if you just go straight there, that'll take you into Summersville, and right there's the Nettie Go Mart. You guys have a good, safe riding.